Welcome, guys, to What's the Roll? I'm Tony Hansen, joined by Ryan, Dan, Damian, and Liam. And we are going to try to answer the question of what's the role in some of our favorite scenes in media, TV, movies, and such. In this episode, we're going to look at Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark. And in the scene where he's venturing with Dr. Octopus, and before he was a doc, into a dungeon, and I'm going to call it a dungeon. It's a cave. And where he goes to switch to idle out. We're going to do it from when he walks in to when he goes to the boulder, and we're just going to call these checks, these rolls as we call them. And fans watching live with us, feel free to jump in. And if you're watching this after live, that's okay too. Put it in the comments and let us know what you think. Did we get the rolls right? Maybe we didn't. That's okay. This is just for fun, guys. Here we go. It's about 3 minutes. I'm going to play it through. I'll play a scene just for about 30 seconds, and we'll go back. Look how young he is. It's crazy, right?
Oh, man. It's 40 years ago.
40 years ago.
45.
Wow.
Too.
Nuts. For those who don't know that, Dan is a huge Indiana Jones nut.
Yes.
Loves Indiana Jones. So here we go. We have our first check.
Yeah, this is some kind of trap check.
Yes. So it's. I would think more like he must have already made the perception check and saw it.
He did. He moved a little piece of moss. He was finding the trap.
Mm-hmm.
He moved the moss, and then he triggers the trap, but knowingly.
You don't think he knew the trap was there? I think he knows.
Look, he's going to move the thing. Well, yeah, he suspects that it's there,
Right.
and then he finds it right there.
I think he makes the search check, and finds the trap.
Yeah.
Finds
Right.
it, he decides to trigger it.
Yeah. Oh, Jason. So, guys, we do have it muted for copyright reasons. We're keeping it muted. We love to hear it too, but we can't. We have to imagine it. All right. I guess perception is involved. It's either a passive perception or it's not passive because he's actively looking for traps here. So perception check, search. He goes in, he search for traps. He finds a trap, and then he's actually just triggering the trap. It isn't a remove or anything
It's
else.
like a luck roll that it doesn't kill him.
It is a luck roll. I guess he's standing in the right spot. Derek says investigation to find the trap over perception because he's actively looking for the trap.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah. And I think it would be a lower DC too, because look, it's the thing you step on is like outlined in the tile. It's right there.
Right.
Like, it's not very well hidden.
Yeah, it's like a shape.
Okay, so let's continue. He springs a trap. That looks like it almost would have killed him, but he wasn't too worried about it. He's not even worried about it after. I guess, who knows?
I would say don't roll a 1 when you're triggering the trap.
I guess.
You know?
Yeah.
Chuck Earls gives a DC 13. That's right. We didn't do the DC. Let's do that now. What do you think the DC was for him to, I guess, to search?
Find it? Yeah, I guess like a 12 or 13.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's fair. I would say the highest would be 15. I wouldn't say go higher than 15.
Yeah, I like the 12, 13.
Yeah, 13.
Richard says he's using disarm trap because he knows it's there. He's not disarming, though.
Yeah.
He's just triggering it
triggers
safely. So, technically you're disarming it
It's a way
by using it. So that actually might be I guess you could consider that a disarm. I don't consider it that way. I don't think about it like that. But some people just say I try to trigger the trap, but technically disarming it is like
told me, I'm going to poke it.
let the trap go off without any danger. So
Right. From his point of view, he's kind of disabling it.
yeah, he tells him to stay here. He says, "If you insist, senor."
He's definitely making some kind of agility
Yeah.
check.
Yeah. Right here.
This is right now. That's pretty easy. It's just like a balance check, I think.
And watch, see here.
Oh.
He's making like a dex check.
Yeah.
So he's not doing enough to call it acrobatics. I feel like it's a balance.
I think he's still looking for traps too. Like I think.
He's going around all those areas, all the areas with the mud in it.
So that's Is that a perception or is that investigation as well? Like
I don't think he's investigating now, but he's that is like he's definitely using perception. He's definitely checking things out, like you said. He's being observant. He's I would make the player roll balance for that. But there's a lot of ways you could do that, and I don't think that was that hard. That maybe a 10.
Yeah, I was thinking 10.
Yeah. I would say, like if I were a player, if I were Indy as a player, I would say, okay, like I found the trap, and then like I would say, okay, before I walk across the floor, like I know where all the traps are, I'm just going to walk to avoid them.
Right, exactly.
So in doing so, like, what would you have me make, like a balance check or something, right? Or a dex check?
Balance check because he could slip in there and fall it in.
Yeah.
Why is Indy always tiptoeing around traps like the penitent man is lying on his feet? Yeah. Let's see. Chuck says detect traps while moving DC 11. Yeah, that could be good.
Yeah, I like it.
That's more difficult terrain at the end, especially a difficult terrain.
Yeah, with the steps. Yeah.
Yep. And we said before, I didn't say it out loud though. Tom was saying it's an easy dex check. Yeah, it is definitely pretty easy. I agree with that.
He also, like, I think he made a good move where, like, if you notice, he doesn't step on the steps. He goes like off to the side, into the middle.
Right. He just straight. Let's go back to that. He straight up doesn't trust the steps. I wonder why. Let's look at that.
Steps, totally.
Yeah, look at that.
Oh, you know what? It's because he's like, why am I going to take a chance of the steps? Because the whole thing could be laced.
Right.
So
maybe
okay.
he avoids, I don't know, a round of checks maybe?
I mean, in Dungeons and Dragons, I wouldn't decipher all that, But I guess if it's one trap after the next trap, it'd be kind of the same thing.
If you had a trap in the steps, you probably would, though.
Yeah, I mean, you could say athletics, See there. Let's see what people say.
I think he jumps over them later too.
Yeah, you could do acrobatics here if you want to. It's weird. It's weird to do the scene backwards when you're watching it, because if I knew the scene and I'm watching it, so I'm going through it, I would describe it differently. If there were tracks there and we're just playing it and it was theater of the mind, then I probably would be like acrobatics, and I would imagine something crazier rather than Indy just like stepping around things. So let's continue. He's still walking between.
And I think it's here. It's getting more difficult because they're smaller and closer
They are
together.
smaller, yeah.
So if we said 10 before, I would say this is maybe like 16. Or 15.
Steven says, I think one of these nights we should do what's the role to an old episode of Double Dare.
That's great.
Oh my God, I love that idea. Steven, I'll tell you what, if you pick out episode of Double Dare that you want us to do, we will do it 100%. That's amazing.
We should do like a bonus round from Double Dare.
Yes. The one where they're doing the whole thing, the physical challenge, where it's like 6 of them in a row that they do.
Yeah,
The obstacle course kind of thing that they got to do.
Yeah, the obstacle course.
Yeah. For sure.
Preemptively, Jason's saying switching to idle could be a pickpockets check.
let's not get ahead of ourselves here, Jason.
Okay, let's see how it goes.
Something like that, though. Here we go.
Okay. So I would say investigation right now.
Yeah.
He's pondering. I would make him. I would say roll an intelligence check.
Here's what I would say, because he's trying to figure out like how much the idol weighs in relation to his sand. So I would say make an investigation check. Like
I would make investigation on the first time he's getting down. He's investigating. You would say, DM, what do I see? And then I would tell you. And then I think he comes up with the idea. Well, he has it already because he's obviously he knows. And then he knows what he came here for. He had he probably filled it up with extra in case he was wrong, and then he's going to take something out. So I think this is an intelligence check. I would say.
Yeah. I think the intelligence check is okay. I see exactly how big this thing is. I know it's made of gold. How much do I think it weighs? Like, can I get the exact same weight in my satchel? And I think, like, with the investigation, with the information that you get from the DM, like, okay, here it's this big. You see, yes, it's made of gold. I would give him maybe like a +2 to his intelligence check that he's making now.
Yeah, I mean, he has pluses already from what he does for a living, of course.
Right. Yeah. This is a hard intelligence check, I think, though.
Yeah, this is hard. I'm like, what?
Jason says, what about Legend of Hidden? Yes, Legend of Hidden Temple. Get the episode. We will do it 100%. That's what the show's about. Love that. Coming in from Derek, investigation DC 17. It would be intelligence on the weight DC 20. Yeah, I think that I like that. And the sleight of hand, DC 15. I was going to say that next. I would make a sleight of hand, not a pickpocket. I would do sleight of hand here coming up.
So what do you think is more difficult here, though? The intelligence check or the sleight of hand check?
The intelligence.
The intelligence.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because,
Yeah.
determining weight like that just by
Right,
eye
like-
something.
Yeah,
just
I think not that this is easy. It's not. But
Right. You can't take any weight off that plate at all.
look at that.
Did he take sand out of the bag before?
Uh-huh.
Yes, he's trying to equal the weight exactly. But obviously there was a gap
Failed
in
the
time.
time.
It didn't matter.
So-
So what do we think? Do we think he failed the intelligence check, or do we think he failed the sleight of hand check?
I think he failed a sleight of hand check, to tell you the truth.
Really?
I think
I think it was
You
the
could argue
intelligence.
either one.
intelligence check. I think
But put it this way,
the weight was wrong.
I feel like when you watch shows, like you can't go outside. You have to use what's given to you, and if you see the mistake on screen, then I would say that that's a mistake, and I wouldn't infer that's something else. So if you go back,
Also, it goes down, which implies, unless it's too heavy, he didn't take enough out.
If that's
it
what
could
that
be.
means,
It definitely could be the weight. That's a good point. It'd be the
I
weight.
think
But
it's
watch.
the weight. Therefore, the intelligence check.
There is a gap though. Oh, I missed it.
okay.
Oh, you're saying there's okay. There's a period where nothing's on there.
It's very small. So it's like he rolls on the sand. So there's a moment of time where it's not there. So yes,
Or like the
or
weight's
okay, you
lighter.
know what? I take it back because you could say the other way. Because that's how always I thought about it, but I never studied it this closely. So you could say that the count, the whatever's measuring the weight underneath is registering it. It's a little too heavy, and then it kicks in.
Yeah.
And maybe they were trying to show you that it's about the weight, and that's also what they're pointing out to you, that the weight might be wrong.
Yeah.
So he probably got that wrong, and he got the sleight of hand right, but it didn't matter.
Yeah, I always thought it was the weight, and only because of like the delay. I always thought that like if it was the sleight of hand that he missed, like as soon
Yeah.
as the plate registered that there's nothing on there, boom, it would come down.
Yeah,
Right.
I think you're right. I'm gonna agree with you. Failed intelligence, but that up to the DC of sleight of hand to 21.
That's another
Yeah,
way to
okay.
look at it.
Yeah, I don't know if I put it that high. It's not really that hard. He has all the time in the world. It's a replacement. It is tricky. I would put it at 15. I'd be a little bit more lenient.
I think I'd put the intelligence maybe around like 21, and then the sleight of hands maybe higher than that. Maybe like 16, 17 or something like that.
Liam, what do you think?
I agree with Dan.
Okay,
I think intelligence should have been 18.
18. Yeah, 18 could be good. It's in the realm.
Oh crap!
Run.
Oh,
So just a notice, he jumps the stairs. We'll never know if there's a trap with the stairs.
Right.
Yeah.
Totally clears the stairs and then triggers another trap.
yeah. Two things came at him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all shooting.
There.
But it works here because he's going backwards. So they're designed to be in front or there, and he's moving backwards. So he is staying ahead of it.
I guess at that point he's just relying on his natural armor class.
It's a running check. If I would do like a terrain negotiation running check, as long as it doesn't stop, he's fine because he's just keeping his speed.
Yeah.
You could put it up that he's making it automatically. Yeah, you could do it a couple different ways.
And then he's got
So
to
he
jump.
swings over here. Athletics check for the swing.
That's Sapido. That's not Indy though.
Oh, I thought that was Indy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, how does this?
Oh, right, because he's going to bargain with them, right?
So I would think maybe the DM knows how weak the branch is, and he knows how many swings the branch can withstand.
Right.
They got them over there, but
Right. So the check for the whip was successful. It's fine. It's staying up there. There's no problems. And now it falls down. Let's see what happens.
no
He gets the
double
whip. The branch falls.
There we go. Throw me the
Yeah,
item.
Barnaby.
Throw me the whip. No time to argue. There he goes. I guess he made his persuasion check, Sapito.
Oh,
wait, he's leaving him?
yeah.
So he made a persuasion
Right,
check.
movie?
You probably would
No.
give him. It's a bluff check. You could give him it with advantage.
Yes, definitely, because he had the wall coming down.
Yeah, so it's like he's more likely to get Indy to believe.
Yeah.
Well, they're both playable characters, and one of them's just Ryan.
All right. Jump check.
So he jumps across. Just athletics jump check, whichever one you want to do.
Yeah.
It's
And
a
he's
far
got-
jump for him.
Oh.
It is.
I'd say 15.
16.
Yeah, I'd say a little more than 15.
Come on.
Yeah, closer to 12, maybe 17, 18.
Get out of here,
He's
dude.
got to make a strength check here, or a climb check, maybe.
Climb. Yeah.
Climb, yeah.
That's like roll a frickin'
Jason brings up good point. Stunt double check.
it's like rolling a 17
Failed
and roll a
persuasion.
15.
15 for what, Ryan?
I was thinking like 17. Yeah, like athletic 17 and then roll another 15 or something.
Okay.
Up the climb. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the climb is not that difficult because, I mean, he's just kind of holding onto a vine there or a rope.
I think it's a roll to see if the vine's going to break
Smash.
rather than him
Uh,
achieving.
Yeah.
Think about this. Probably like Richard just said, DC 17, and he rolled to 17. It's if you think about it in movies, they want the character to roll the exact check because that makes it like they just made it, right? So unless you're Arnold Schwarzenegger, in his action movie in Commando, you're just critting all left and right, throwing saw blades, But if it's not that, it's a natural one. If it's not that, it's the cusp of the check, probably, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So let's see how everybody does.
This grabbing the whip before the door shuts.
So this is maybe acrobatics here. It's like a roll.
To roll under the door?
You could do athletics, I would say, or acrobatics.
Makes sense. That's like a simple acrobatics check.
It's a tumble, and actually, it's a form of tumble.
Yeah.
It'd be a tumble check.
Something
What would be
easy,
DC.
like a 7, maybe. He's not doing anything.
Oh man,
I thought like a
can't.
14.
I feel like you have to go higher because it's tense.
I thought like a 14 and then like a 18 plus gets the whip or a 17 plus gets the whip or something.
Oh well,
Are we
the
saying
whip would be a bonus action, right? Grabbing the whip.
are we counting the whole thing? Like once he gets out of the
Whatever
like,
you want. No
once he-
rules. However you would do it.
True. So once he gets out, maybe if we make it one big acrobatics check.
After he climbs up out of the hole, from there to this moment.
That makes it more difficult because I'm thinking like he gets to the door, he's got to roll under it, which is meh. But if he's like once he gets out, he's got to scramble there, then dive under the door.
Yeah, he pretty much does it all in one motion. So I would
Yeah.
say,
Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't. So we're watching a lot of things happen, but the DM wouldn't be making the player roll check after check after check after check for every action. You would just be like, okay, climb up and then tumble for underneath the door, and then with some sort of bonus action or whatever, he would grab the whip. Or yeah, you can do. I think Ryan was saying that you can make it like if he rolls higher on this, you'll get the whip and underneath, or if you roll lower, you just get underneath.
right.
I think it's like he made his athletics check, and the DM's like, "All right, you roll under the door," and then he remembers, he's like, "Wait, my whip," and then the DM's
Yeah.
like, "Oh, if you go back for it, you got to roll," and then he rolls.
Right. Yes, exactly. Good point. And he rolls and he gets it too.
Oh shoot!
That's four.
Is that what's his name?
That's Sapito.
That's Doc Ock.
Yeah. Adios,
Oh
Sapito.
crap!
Failed
Doesn't
his
look
check.
anything like him.
Yeah.
Here it comes.
And this right
Holy
here,
crap.
the first check is the failed intelligence check. Because he can run right back underneath it.
That's right.
Just let it pass you.
Yeah.
Right. All you got to do is let it go. Wait.
Yeah,
No, it's
And
not
you
true.
might have been stuck in there too.
Yes, it's gonna close the doorway forever. That's the point.
That's
Right.
true. Yeah.
So he was probably thinking, I got to get out of here. I can't get stuck in here.
Right. He's on the ball. No
Yes.
pun. You know, he knows that if he fails that check, he's going to become a permanent resident. You become a permanent resident. So
So he
There you
made
go.
the check. All right.
God, Dan, you want to say something?
No, I said so he made the intelligence check.
She made the intelligence check, yes.
Yes.
That's true.
So now he needs to make
my
a dexterity
God.
save.
Ooh.
Stumble.
Yeah, dude. Excuse that.
Oh, and a fall coming up. Oh no, a jump,
Dives
Oh,
out.
that hurts. No.
This is crazy.
tumble.
I think as he's running away from the boulder, the DM is having him make like a few dex checks. Like when Botorius was going down the mountain,
Climbing down the mountain. Yeah.
Oh, no.
to make check after check because he misses one and falls. I think that's him missing one of his dex checks.
So it probably would be a perception check. I would say, okay, roll a perception check. If you make it, you hear and see the ball coming. And then he chooses, it'd probably be a choice of the player, like I run, because you could just say I duck and let it go, and then you get trapped. So then he would go in, and then that's just a player choice. He runs. If you want to petition the dex checks or dex saves, however you
Yeah,
want to
this
do it,
is
you'd
great.
say
One
this one
trip
here.
here cost him everything. Oh,
He would roll the next one, and he might. In our system, that could be a fail and a reroll,
That's yeah.
right?
Rerolled it.
He tripped and then he got up.
Yeah.
the spider.
And then he
web.
makes the next one. He's still going.
Oh, it's a crazy spider web.
He's got a lot of obstacle. Like it's not easy terrain, so it's got to be like at least a high. Like it's not just hey run. It's he's got some obstacles to go through.
Jason says endurance. In our system, it would be endurance if he does a check once and then continues it. So it could be endurance just to keep up the speed. Derek says perception DC 10, dex save DC 15. Good numbers. 3 checks at DC 14. That feels like what I might make it. I can see that feels correct to me.
Yeah,
Multiple
It's
stumble
not too
checks.
hard,
Yes. Double checks. Derek is riding us. Yeah, you can't let it. He's going to seal the tunnel, right? I wonder if do we see the tunnel? I'm not sure.
I think when he goes through the web, it's kind of
Yeah.
behind him.
Yeah, very like in the upper, I think left hand corner, you see it kind of come up against the hole.
This is crazy.
Yeah, that guy's out.
Yep. That guy was caught flat-footed, surprised. And then that's it. So that does it, guys. That is Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark, the Golden Idol scene, and that was a good one because that's classic D&D to me. That's literally like that's like the first thing we've seen when we were young, and that was like, okay, what is this? I love this, and I didn't know that Dungeons and Dragons was a thing yet, but I was about to learn. And
dungeon crawl.
yeah, say again.
It's a quick dungeon crawl.
Yeah. It's without going to Dungeons and Dragons or Lord of the Rings, it's like the most dungeony crawl that it probably exists, in true form. And I remember when Lord of the Rings came out, I hadn't read the books, so I didn't know what to expect in the first one. And when they were going through the mines of Moria, I remember just like watching and going like, oh my God, this is great. This is a dungeon crawl right now. I've never seen this in television. And then when they fight the cave troll, when they get trapped, that battle is straight D&D. With it, like, Gimli comes up, slashes, someone comes up, Aragorn comes up and like, tries to stab him,
Legolas is
firing
shooting
arrows in.
arrows and
Yeah,
all that.
Legolas fires in. That's a straight up D&D turn-based combat. It was so great to watch that. It was so awesome. And crazy how long ago that was. That was 2001.
Yeah, Fellowship was so
That's
long.
pretty nuts. Yeah. that's nuts.
So that does it for What's the Roll, guys. What did you think? What would your rolls? What would your checks be? And there's no wrong or right answer, but what would you do? We would love to hear it. Put it in the comments below and let us know. That was Indiana Jones, The Raiders of the Lost Ark, The Golden Idol, and that was a lot of fun for me.